I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Donald Trump's new lawyer, Joe Tacopina, had a disastrous appearance earlier on Good Morning America with George Stephanopoulos. George Stephanopoulos asked Tacopina some really basic questions, and Tacopina fumbled the ball. Here, I'll show you this clip. So George Stephanopoulos asked Tacopina, hey, so in connection with these Manhattan District Attorney charges, there are three basic elements here, right? The first is, did Trump authorize the payments at issue? Second, was a false business record recording? And third, was it in connection with an election? And Tacopina just couldn't handle the questions. Here, watch what happens when you have Stephanopoulos ask Tacopina just the first question. Can you just answer, did Trump authorize this? Play the clip.
And there are three questions, simple yes/no questions at the heart of the case. I want to put them up on the board right there. Number one, did Trump authorize the payment to Stormy Daniels? Number two, was the payment properly recorded? And number three, was it connected to the election? So let's take all three of them in turn. Number one, did Trump authorize the payment to Stormy Daniels?
First of all we need to do is start and end with number three, because it's not.
Let's answer number one first.
It's not directly related.
Did Trump authorize the payment?
It's not directly related.
Did Trump authorize the payment?
It's not directly related to the campaign. It's regardless.
We're going to get to that.
Well, let's assume he did. For the argument,
He's
for this
actually
argument,
admitted that he did. So the answer to that is yes.
Let's assume he did. Okay, this was a plain extortion, and I don't know since when we've decided to start prosecuting extortion victims. He's vehemently denied this affair, but he had to pay money because there was going to be an allegation that was going to be publicly embarrassing to him.
Okay, what in the world was that? And then Stephanopoulos gets to the next element, and Tacopina says, was it a false business record? Watch the response from Tacopina.
Was it properly noted in the Trump Organization records, or was a false record made saying this was legal representation?
There was absolutely no false records made. To my knowledge, there was no false records made.
To your knowledge?
Correct,
so you're not sure?
Well, I wasn't there at the time, but my understanding of these facts is clearly there was no false record made.
But you would acknowledge that if a false record was made, that is a crime, a misdemeanor, correct?
No, I wouldn't acknowledge that any false record made in a private banking record.
If it were made, it is a crime. It's a misdemeanor.
It depends in what context.
Okay, you know when a Trump lawyer says, it is my understanding, that the real thing that they are saying is that I'm probably getting lied to by Donald Trump. That's the line that all of Donald Trump's lawyers use over and over again when they go on and do these interviews and just lie repeatedly. Well, it's my understanding that there is no nuclear material at Mar-a-Lago that Donald Trump was concealing. It's my understanding that the Department of Justice and FBI did not give anybody at Mar-a-Lago a search warrant when the search warrant was executed at Mar-a-Lago on August 8th. It's my understanding. Here, you don't believe? Here, watch Alina Habba right after the Department of Justice executed a valid and lawful search warrant at Mar-a-Lago, turned over the search warrant to Trump's legal team, just go on TV, go on Propaganda Fox, and just lie and say, it's my understanding. No, that never happened. Here, play this clip.
People are saying, oh, well, why doesn't the president's attorney just release the warrant? They were probably handed a warrant before the feds showed up to kick the door down. Why wouldn't you do that?
Actually, my understanding from the attorneys on the ground was that they weren't given the warrant. They were allowed to see it and then taken back.
Oh, so they don't have a copy of it?
That's my understanding.
Okay. All right, yes. Alina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Here's another clip of Habba. Watch her say, it's my understanding. She literally contradicts herself in this clip. She at first basically says that she went through all of these classified records, and she's like, it's my understanding you declassified it. Play this clip.
They're trying to, obviously now knowing what you just said, conflate this idea that you were looking for potentially handling classified documents. So if you weren't looking for them and that's not what you're handling, then that seems that would be a moot issue as well.
Yes, it's a very moot issue. Sorry, guys. We're going to have to move on to the next story. I'm not, I don't have clearance to touch or go through classified documents. You actually have to have clearance to do that if they're classified. These were declassified, is my understanding. But again, I'm not the attorney that was handling this, haven't been. I don't plan on being. There are a team of attorneys that were in Florida today that are dealing with this and have been on this matter since their first reach out with NARA, and then some additional attorneys have been joined that team. But no, my search was for the Attorney General in New York and had nothing to do with classified documents and NARA at all.
Oh, and this one's my favorite. This is Christina Bobb, Trump's other lawyer, who says, it's my understanding that there's no nuclear material. Even Laura Ingraham is like, so did he have nuclear material or did he not have nuclear information about nuclear material at Mar-a-Lago? Here, play this clip.
Okay, so Christina, just so I'm clear about this, I want to be really clear. Is it your understanding that there were not documents related to our nuclear capabilities or nuclear issues that had national security implications in the president's possession when the agents showed up at Mar-a-Lago?
That's correct. I don't believe they were, and if they thought
well,
they were...
do you know for a fact? Do you know for a fact they were? Have you spoken to the president about it?
I have not specifically spoken to the president about what nuclear materials may or may not have been in there. I do not believe there were any in there. The legal team had done a very thorough search and had turned over, we've been very cooperative with the Biden administration and the DOJ and turned over everything that we found that we had. So it's my understanding on very good belief based on a thorough investigation that there was nothing there.
So Christina.
So folks, Donald Trump's defense, if you want to call it that, is just crumbling before charges have even been filed. Like, they're going all in right now. No affair. Trump's being extorted, and just don't believe your eyes. We shouldn't look at what the business ledgers say. We should ignore the fact that these payments were made right before an election. So it's not connected to an election, that it happened 2 or 3 days before an election. They're going all in on Trump is the victim. That is their defense. It is utterly absurd. But again, we should all be thankful that Donald Trump has really, really bad lawyers and that Donald Trump gets the lawyers that he deserves. Folks, we've been waiting for the wheels of justice to turn or grind in the right direction. We are almost there. We are, in my estimation, 2 weeks or so away from a criminal indictment of Donald Trump. Most legal prognosticators believe it's going to happen in March. I've said before, April or May. I will be glad if I am wrong and it is earlier than I even estimated. But stay tuned. The Manhattan District Attorney's is pursuing these charges. It looks like is doing an aggressive job. We will keep you posted with this and more here on the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We are on our way to 1 million subscribers thanks to your incredible support. So please hit the subscribe button right now. We are marching to 1 million subscribers in the month of March. Also, check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. You'll love the exclusive content we have at Patreon. And most importantly, that would help us grow this independent media platform. And also, if you can, wherever you get your audio podcast, just search MeidasTouch Podcast and check it out. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas.
The best part of waking up? MAGA tears in my cup. Check out the new MAGA tears mug available now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com. It's 100% union made right here in the USA. I know I'm not tired of winning yet. How about you? Get yours today.